No matter what you're doing, if you're really stressed out and not managing it, it affects everything, it makes everything harder, you're not going to be performing well, you're not going to be sleeping well. And I can honestly say, after helping people with different issues, whether it was fitness or nutrition or something else that was bothering them, that 99% of the time, they're not managing their stress. And it comes along with everything we've been saying, but it means that you're either not aware of it, and you have to be aware of it, or you're not doing anything about it. And again, it's a practice like anything else. It's every week you do something that you enjoy that has nothing to do with work, that recharges you and makes you feel good. So the last point I'd like to leave you with is finding your flow. So does anyone know what a flow state is? Oh, sorry. Don't look. So does anyone know what a flow state is? Already heard of a flow state? Okay. You probably have, although we used to call it probably more back in the day, being in the zone. You know, if you're a piano player and you're playing flawlessly for an hour, they're in the zone. Or you're an athlete and have an amazing game, they're in the zone. Have you heard of like being in the zone before, I'm sure? Right, of course. So now that we've done a lot more research into what that actually is and what it provides for our body, it's currently being termed a flow state. So now you can look. So what is a flow state? What is it really doing for our body and our anatomy? It's a peak performance state where you feel your best and you perform at your best. The more research we do into flow states, the more traditionally referred to as being in the zone, the more evidence there is to suggest not only how healthy these states are for our mind, but how powerfully restorative they are for your body. So there's a lot more information on this at theflowgenomeproject.com. Now if you go on there, they're trying to sell videos and stuff like that. You don't have to buy those videos and stuff, but you can look up the author, and there's a couple of them, and look up what they're really doing. It's really amazing stuff. Essentially, what they're saying is you can have the same performance, the same bliss as any elite athlete or any elite musician by achieving these flow states. So just for those, there's a couple of things that are required for that. So achieving a flow state requires that you're engaged in an activity that requires the use of skill, that you're performing these skills at or near your limit. So in other words, whatever the activity you have to practice to gain a skill, and the challenge is to perform at your best. So here are some of the conditions for a flow state. Clear goals for your activity. Your abilities and the challenges that you face must be evenly matched. That, therefore, it has to be a challenge. It can't be too easy or else you're not going to achieve that state. And while you have to start with a goal, your focus should be on the process of the state. This can be sport, it can be a musical instrument, It can be walking, it can be running, it can be exercise, it can be a lot of different things. So while it's probably not possible to play like a professional basketball player or a violin virtuoso, it is possible for short periods of time to feel like a star performer when they're at their best by entering these flow states.